The new release of SOLIDWORKS Electrical is as ever packed with lots of new functionality. Here are my top enhancements for this year's release. Electrical users can now be assigned to user right profiles or groups that control how they can view and modify within projects. Previously, 5 profiles with gradient permission levels were provided. Now in 2020, you can create new profiles and enable functionality access with one click. This is great for those managing teams, as contractors or new starters could be given reduced permissions compared to more advanced users, preventing accidental or unwanted edits to the library data. Let's take a look at the new improvements to reports in 2020. I would like to pass this bill of materials off to my part supplier, but I need to make some edits first. The headers don't stand out enough, and I'd like to make the text bigger, but also add some padding. In 2020, in addition to changing text height, you can define the row height. Select Fixed to set a custom row height, or opt for Minimum Height to set an incremental value. Adding row numbers is also easier in 2020 than before. You can add rows to any report with a single click of a button. These row numbers dynamically update with filters and other edits, which helps prevent errors. SOLIDWORKS Electrical is continually improving report functionality, making customized reports fast and easy. Text and balloons with leader lines are a common method to convey design notes, particularly on cabinet layout drawings. New to SOLIDWORKS Electrical, there are now dedicated commands to add these annotations. Styles for text and balloons can be saved within the Manager tool, helping you to keep projects consistent across the board. My favourite enhancement in this year's release is the ability to re-import electrical data into an existing route in Electrical 3D. Here we have a drawing and subassembly which have been routed in SOLIDWORKS Electrical. We now need to make some changes to the schematic. In 2019 and previous releases, it was necessary to delete the route and recreate it if any changes to the schematic had taken place. In this example though, we're going to change the wire style, we can change the thickness of the wire as well. We could even go to the extent of changing a connector, maybe adding or removing a connector from the completed loom. Now in 2020 the data is re-imported, maintaining any route changes that had taken place. Even things like clips and coverings are kept. The improved workflow also helps with PDM integration, as subassemblies and flattened loom drawings remain the same file after any updates. Once the route harness command has been rerun, you can now see that the wire style has altered with the new size of wire applied to the assembly. This also ripples through to the drawing sheet, meaning that all of the connector tables, circuit summary and BOM information is updated on the drawing. This also includes new lengths for the new routes that have been applied to the 3D model. A real improvement to the design workflow in Electrical 3D, meaning it's easy to finish your design work and get products to market quicker. In SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2020, you now have a new routing tool at your disposal. Opt to finish harness routes manually by adding only the components to the harness, creating guidelines for connections. This is particularly useful for disjointed routes, as well as more complex looms, giving you more control on the routed harness connections. Fanouts for multi-pin connectors are also included to make the workflow even more efficient. In designs like this telescope, calculations around the centre of mass and moment of inertia are essential. The approximately 4,000 fibre optic cables coming from the instrument will add significant weight to the rotating portion of the assembly. The instrument position accuracy needs to be incredibly precise. Just the tilt degree must be correct to 4 decimal places. SOLIDWORKS 2020 includes the ability to fill in mass properties for wires, cables and even coverings, including partial coverings of a route. This can be defined from the SOLIDWORKS Electrical libraries or from the Routing Library Manager. So, in addition to generating route subassemblies with circuit summaries and connector pinout details, we will also have the mass calculated automatically, even as changes are made to the route. Now with 2020, we can easily understand how the wires and cables will affect the centre of mass and moments of inertia in the project.